everybody. We're going to describe how theoretical and data analytical ideas are interfacing with recently developed computational and experimental methodologies to answer these questions across a variety of contexts, length scales, and time scales. We will attempt to highlight commonalities between approaches and areas where further advances are necessary to place behavior on the same quantitative footing as other scientific fields, where artificial intelligence approaches have been successfully applied. Preclinical research is generally divided into 4 phases: basic research, drug discovery, lead optimization, and IND-enabling studies. Preclinical research is a term that refers to simply any research about a drug or treatment for a disease that occurs before it is tested by human volunteers. This encompasses everything from experiments to investigate the causes of the disease to testing potential treatments in animals and everything in between. Through this process, researchers narrow down the possibilities from a nearly infinite number of potential therapeutic compounds to one drug candidate for clinical testing. Each class of product may undergo different types of preclinical research. For instance, drugs may undergo pharmacodynamics, what the drug does to the body, PD, pharmacokinetics, what the body does to the drug, PK, ADME, and toxicology testing. This data allows researchers to allometrically estimate a safe starting dose of the drug for clinical trials in humans. Medical devices that do not have drug attached will not undergo these additional tests and may go directly to good laboratory practices, GLP, testing for safety of the device and its components. Some medical devices will also undergo biocompatibility testing, which helps to show whether a component of the device or all components are sustainable in a living model. Studies of drug toxicity include which organs are targeted by that drug, as well as if there are any long-term carcinogenic effects or toxic effects causing illness. In vitro, performing a procedure in a controlled environment outside of a living organism. In vivo, experimentation using a whole living organism. In silico tests, an expression meaning performed on computer or via computer simulation, for example, predicting the toxicology profile of a product using its chemical structure with data-based approaches. For all types of medicines and clinical trials in the medicine development process, the use of relevant non-clinical models and animal species is fundamental in obtaining predictive data for humans. For most new medicines, this is achieved by applying science-driven strategies. This is especially true when studying biologically derived medicines. Therefore, much effort goes into the selection of the most predictive testing systems and the most predictive animal species. An in vitro system is necessarily restricted in its ability to mimic a true system pharmacology response to psychiatric drugs, and would ideally be complemented with an in vivo assay for more advanced preclinical testing. In vivo data mining approach establishes a framework for screening novel chemical entities based on a response system that represents the net pharmacological effect on the system of interest, namely the CNS. In this slide, we can see various research devices, labyrinths and boxes. Use of artificial intelligence, AI, in silico studies for various applied tasks. The next 2 slides show the history of the emergence and development of artificial intelligence. The next slide shows the block diagram design approach in building a new information system. The next 10 slides contain descriptions of the most significant and relevant research and resources, such as Universal Drug Detector, Mobiot, a new and open toolbox for guided analysis of behavioral tests in mice, Pinapple, a toolbox for data analysis in neuroscience, open source Python toolbox for neural data analysis, Deep Action, a deep learning based and open source MATLAB toolbox for automatically annotating animal behavior in video, DB Scorer, an open source software for automated accurate analysis of rodent behavior in force swim test and tail suspension test, Virtual Elevated plus Maze, Animal GAN, Virtual Animal Model, Method to simulate 38 rat clinical pathology measures. Predicting long-term collective animal behavior with deep learning, with video multi-layered perceptron interaction, MLI model, long short-term memory, LSTM, deep learning interaction model, and useful links to open sources platforms. You have the opportunity to stop the video on any slide that interests you and also find additional information in the link. Thank you for your attention.